In 1984, Sally Fields delivered an iconic line during her Best Actress acceptance speech for an Academy Award. People have been repeating this line over and over for decades. However, the Sally Fields who said, "You like me, you really like me," existed in another reality. In this reality, we have a Sally Field who said, "You like me, right now, you like me."
And I can't deny the fact that you like me. Right now, you like me.
I guess this means you like me. You really like me.
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 You like me. You really like me. You like me. You really like me. You like me? You really like me?
As a friend.
You like me. You really like me.
You like me. You really like me.
You love me. You really love me.
Like as Sally Field said, you really like me. You really like us.
It is a great day, and you like me. You really like me.
Please stop that. We love you.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me. Right now, you like me.
You like me. You really like me. Never gets old. Sort of does a little bit, yes.
Starting to twinkle in the edges, that joke, but I still like it.
During her acceptance speech, Fields said, quote, "I can't deny the fact that you like me now. You like me." Didn't you say you really, really like me in there somewhere as well?
And I'd like to say thank you to you. Because you like me. You really like me.
Of all things. So yeah, they've thrown a monkey wrench into this whole Wizard of Oz classic. And when the flying monkeys come get them, I guess having a monkey wrench makes sense. And it seems like they're making monkeys out of us because, yeah, we remember how things were, and it's not this way.
I'd turn back if I were you. I believe there's spooks around here.
That's ridiculous. Spooks. That's silly.
Don't you believe in spooks?
No. Why, oh! Oh, are you all right?
It seems that unusual phenomena are continuing to occur in the vicinity of Geneva near the Large Hadron Collider. According to a set of images and videos, strange clouds appear over the LHC, which has sent the internet into a frenzy, suggesting the enigmatic phenomenon could in fact be a portal to another dimension. The jaw-dropping images taken above CERN's Large Hadron Collider are truly fascinating, but are they connected to the mystery experiments that are taking place below the surface? And is it really possible for CERN to open up portals to another dimension? The images alone with a fancy title have proposed all kinds of speculation. Apparently the images were taken on June 24th, the exact same day CERN was conducting an experiment called AWAKE. The AWAKE experiment, which is also known as the Proton-Driven Plasma Wakefield Acceleration Experiment, aims to use a whole new method that will get particles going much faster in a shorter amount of time. However, results of this experiment are not expected until 2018. CERN is the world's most powerful particle accelerator placed inside a ring-shaped 27-kilometer long underground tunnel located at the Swiss and the French border. The facility was built between 1998 and 2008 and allows physicists to test various theories. In the past, it is well known that CERN has carried out experiments creating artificial clouds to better understand global warming. The video that caused a massive uproar on social networks was uploaded to YouTube on June 27th by YouTube channel Freedom Fighter Times. Called "What Portal Did CERN Open Now? Strange Clouds Hover Above the LHC." The video has ignited a massive debate whether or not CERN scientists are actually opening up portals to another dimension. But do another dimension actually exist? Or have users on the internet gone too far now?
New images of bizarre cloud formations above the CERN Large Hadron Collider or LHC could be shock-proof. The world's biggest experiment is about to tear open a portal to another dimension. That is if you are inclined to believe the latest conspiracy theory surrounding the monster machine. The two images show cloud and light over the LCH at Geneva, on the French-Swiss border, and were taken on June 24th, the same day CERN scientists began a new AWAKE experiment to change the way it smashes particles together. A film entitled "What Portal Did CERN Open Now? Strange Clouds Hover Above the LHC" was made by Freedom Fighter Times, a religious conspiracy theory channel on YouTube, and raises major concerns about what the LCH is being used for. The narrator of the video of CERN, otherwise known as European Organization for Nuclear Research, claims the two images had been forensically researched and been found to be genuine and not edited. He said, "It is not a background you can get on Google. It is an actual picture taken on June 24, 2016. It is directly over CERN, and the cloud formation is very interesting. The energy that is being produced, you can actually see that minus the lightning strikes." He asked viewers if they were concerned about CERN, and advised they should be. He said, "How much energy did CERN pull into itself? Is this why the weather is so crazy all over the planet? There are many other colliders all over the world." The video showed the CERN schedule for the LCH, which showed an experiment called AWAKE was due to begin on June 24th. The narrator said, "Is it a coincidence they had just started the AWAKE experiment? This insane ball of energy was directly over the LHC. Some people reported see faces in it. It is amazing they keep messing with nature and denying it. What is in the cloud? Some say it is lightning or a massive ball of energy. The amount of energy pulling from nature into the collider itself, you can actually see it. What portals and doors are being opened in this cloud?" Some of the conspiracy theories about CERN have included that it is being used as a portal to allow Satan to return to Earth. Last October, Express.co.uk exclusively revealed claims from former Whitby Town Councillor Simon Parkes, that he held a global meditation to prevent this happening. The LHC is the world's largest and most powerful machine and is actually used to collide particles at close to the speed of light in a bid to discover more about physics and the possibility of parallel universes. The curious machine, developed across a 16-mile ring of superconducting magnets, has had critics before amid claims it could inadvertently create a black hole that may swallow up the world, but some of these wild conspiracies are among the strangest to date. CERN, of course, denies trying to change our weather, but it has carried out experiments to create artificial clouds to better understand global warming, which fuels the conspiracies. The official line on what the Awake experiments are about is to develop a new type of accelerator to cut the size of the huge particle physics experiments down by a factor of 100 or more so they can be carried out on tabletops. The Awake experiment, also known as the proton-driven plasma wake field acceleration experiment, will use a whole new method that will get particles going much faster in a shorter amount of time. Results are not expected until 2018. In the meantime, the wild conspiracies are likely to continue.
Been busy concentrating on other projects here on YouTube, and busy with doing live shows and that kind of thing. But I wanted to bring this one up. This one is one that was sent to me by one of my listeners, and I wanted to bring it up to you guys here in the community to see what you guys thought, see what you remember in regards to this set of biblical verses where the Matrix is referred. Now, I also plan on soon doing a couple of Mandela effect response videos to talk about my feelings regarding some of the things that people have commented, questions that have been asked as far as the Mandela effect goes. I'll be doing those probably within the next few days. I just haven't been able to get a chance to get to it. We've been really busy doing live shows and bringing you out other content here on the channel. But anyways, let's get to it. So in the Bible, this is going to be specifically referring to the King James version of the Bible with reference to these verses. The other versions of the Bible have not changed as far as I was able to find. So the other versions have the text differently. The King James Bible is the only one that's different now compared to the others. So anyways, Exodus 13:12, that thou hast set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix, and every firstling that cometh out of a beast which thou hast, the males shall be the Lord's. Then we have Exodus 13:15, which says, and it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all that openeth the matrix, being males, but all the firstborn of my children I redeem. Exodus 34:19 says, all that openeth the matrix is mine, and every firstling among thy cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. Numbers 3:12, and I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Therefore the Levites shall be mine. Numbers 18:15 says, everything that openeth the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of men or beasts, shall be thine. Nevertheless, the firstborn of man shalt thou surely redeem, and the firstling of unclean beasts shalt thou redeem. Now, as you guys can see in the next screenshot here, the online etymology dictionary shows that the word matrix is an old Latin word that came into circulation in the 1400s. The King James Version of the Bible, of course, was published in the 1600s. It was 1611 that version of the Bible was first published. So the word was around during that period of time, and the word does mean pregnant animal. However, it is a very uncommon term, and it's an uncommonly referenced term during that period of time. They used the word womb during that time period. So Why the Bible now has matrix there as opposed to womb, I'm not sure.
And that is that there are an enormous number, mind-bogglingly large number, of parallel realities, as real as this one, that have different consistent histories. So imagine a world where all of the laws of physics as we know them are obeyed, but different decisions were made along the way. Different decisions at the level of tiny microscopic particles, different decisions all the way up to what you chose to eat for lunch, and whether you chose to come to the session or not. Quantum mechanics makes a very specific prediction that all of those are as real as the thing that you remember. And this is bizarre, because we don't see those other things. But science has reached the point now where we can build machines that exploit those other worlds. And quantum computers are perhaps the most exciting of all of these that we have within, or almost within our grasp right now. So people from a physics background love this. They want to understand the world. They want to understand the universe, how it all works. If you could build one, could solve problems that you could never, ever solve with any computer of the sort that we built. If you took every single atom of silicon in the world and made the most sophisticated conventional Intel-style processor that you could build, there are problems we know of that I could write down on a sheet of paper that you could never, ever, ever solve with that thing, that you could with this kind of machine. So that's very exciting. Humans use tools to do things. If you give humans a new kind of tool that can do things that you couldn't otherwise do, imagine the possibilities. So you may think, well, this is all fine and dandy, but aren't these things in the realm of theory and speculation kind of in the same regime as other futuristic things you may have heard of which may be allowed by the laws of physics but aren't here yet? That's not true. There are, in fact, many of these machines deployed now in openly available research centers following the model that was used to introduce supercomputers to the world. terrifically powerful yet, but they're doing something completely different than what your computer does. And that thing is like flight. It gives these computers access to these new resources, maybe you could call them parallel universes, in order to do something that you couldn't otherwise do. And that's not the only one. In fact, the one I'm going to come back to and talk to in the context of the story that I'm wrapping this in was recently installed at NASA. And Google was the primary interested party that pulled this whole thing together. And this one is really exciting to me, because what they're going to do is apply this machine to an area that I think is fundamentally important. It's the crux of our future as humans, and that's, can we build machines like us? So building machines like us might be possible. I certainly believe it is. I might be wrong. But what I do know is that the types of approaches that people are taking now to build intelligent machines benefit immensely from what this machine that we've built does best. This is what they look like. There are two of them. These are from our lab in Burnaby in British Columbia. From the outside, they look like giant black monoliths, big metal boxes, about 10 feet on a side, 12 feet tall. And they are powered, they have a fridge inside them, a refrigerator that cools these chips to almost absolute zero. Just a wisp, a fraction of a degree above absolute zero. Hundreds of times colder than interstellar space. Amongst the coldest and most isolated and extreme conditions that humans have ever been able to engineer. These fridges, interestingly enough, which are called pulse tube dilution refrigerators, have a thing called a pulse tube, which emits a sound roughly once per second, which sounds eerily like a heartbeat. So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god. They really are impressive machines. At the heart of this big box is a tiny chip about the size of your thumbnail. And on this chip resides all of the wonder and magic that makes this thing go. I'm not going to describe in any mathematical detail how it all works, but let me give you an analogy. In quantum mechanics, there's this concept that a thing can exist in two states which are mutually exclusive at the same time, quote unquote. And I'm using those words because the English language was developed before we had concepts to describe what these things actually are doing. But I'm going to give you a roundabout way of understanding this. Imagine that there really are parallel universes out there, and now imagine you have two that are exactly identical in every respect, all the way out to the horizon as far as we can see, down to the last little atomic detail of every single thing, with only one difference. And that's the value of a little thing called a qubit on this chip, which is a contraction of quantum bit. And that qubit is very much like a bit or a transistor in a conventional computer. It has two distinct physical states, which we call 0 and 1 for bit. In a conventional computer, these are mutually exclusive. That device is either one or the other and never anything else. In a quantum computer, that device can be in this strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. And when you increase the number of these devices, every time you add one of these qubits, you double the number of these parallel universes that you have access to, until such time when you get to a chip like this, which is about 500 of these bits, you have something like 2 to the 500th power of these guys living in that chip. So the way I think about it is that the shadows of these parallel worlds overlap with ours. And if we're smart enough, we can dive into them and grab their resources and pull them back into ours to make an effect in our world. Now, this may sound very odd to you and bizarre, and in fact, I am using language that a normal theoretical physicist probably wouldn't use. But this is, what I'm telling you is absolutely correct and in line with the way that these things actually work. We've been doing this for some time now, and in fact, we have our own version of Moore's law. The doubling of the number of these qubits on the chip has happened once a year for the past 9 years. So for the last 9 years, every year the number of these qubit devices has doubled, and it will continue to do so. As a point of reference in terms of how fast these things are, in one generation of chip, the one from the system that was installed at USC to the one that Google and NASA have now, the speed of the device went up by almost 500,000. This is the kind of progress that you're going to see with these types of machines going forward. And 500,000 sounds like an abstract number, but I put up a little mental comparison here to see what 5,000 really means. 500,000 is a big number when it comes to speed. All right, so now I'm getting into the last part of my talk where I'm going to make some predictions, some dangerous predictions. So predictions are very...
And know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. That read, and there is nothing wrong with my memory. That read, and it should read, I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. It should read, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. And here it's been altered.
Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge.
This comment was made, and somebody said to me, I heard somebody say, now where's Mandela? Well, Mandela's dead.